Welcome to the Nerdstalker Tech Week Update. Thanks for watching and listening out there. I am Adolfo Ferranda at Nerdstalker on Twitter, at aferranda at Twitter, with my co-host
Greg Glory, aka Social Greg on Twitter for Nerdstalker Network. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Slow tech news week, sort of, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna extract
make it happen.
Teeth.
It's Halloween coming up next weekend.
Oh yeah, I love it. I can't wait. What are you going to be? Do you know what you're going to be?
Yoda.
Yoda? Nice. I'm going to be Immortal Joe from Mad Max. He's the guy with the skull mask. And
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and the white hair.
Okay, we'll wear our costumes for next week then.
Next week. Oh, good idea, actually, man. Brilliant.
I am brilliant. Anyway, let's start. My friend, with your story. Even though it was a slow week, can you get smarter? I mean, you or me, you... The audience, what are you talking about?
We have to share this animated GIF there.
Oh, I see.
Look at that! Isn't that clever?
That is smart.
So yeah, thanks to this guy at the Sunday Review, Richard A. Friedman, New York Times, whatever. So a lot of this, you guys all know, right? It's sort of the whole, can you increase the size of your get smarter, continue your brain, make it better, make yourself smarter. And they're showing these studies as you get older, that the brain shrinks 1 to 2%, as it says here, a year, saying nothing to the fact that 1 in 9 people at age 65 or older has Alzheimer's disease. So that number afflicted is expected to grow rapidly as the baby boom generation ages, obviously. And there's grim stats, and you'll see that smart drugs and that stuff is popular now because we're all trying to avoid all this stuff. Very notion of cognitive enhancement seductive, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry now, training industry. You see these sort of online sort of brain training sites and stuff like that people go to and subscribe to, and we're trying to prove if those serve, what kind of purpose do they serve. So they did a study, and neuroscientists put it to the test when they found that basically a lot of these studies, which were like puzzles and things like that, only really made you better at the puzzles themselves and didn't really expand out to sort of like other types of things.
Shoot, man.
To some extent, right? So they took benchmark cognitive tests and modified IQ tests, and scores of the benchmark test for the subjects could not train did not significantly increase at the end of the study. There was, however, a glimmer of hope of what they say for subjects age 60 and above, oddly enough. Unlike the younger participants, older subjects showed a significant improvement in verbal reasoning, one of the components of the benchmark test after just 6 weeks of brain training. So the older the subjects continued in a follow-up study for a full 12 months. Results of the follow-up study, soon to be published in a peer-reviewed journal, generally showed that continued brain training helps older subjects maintain the improvement in verbal reasoning seen in the earlier study. This is good news because it suggests the brain exercise might delay some of the effects of aging on the brain. Of course, skeptics might argue that older people are already on a downward trajectory, right? Cognitively. So their improvement with brain gains is not actual enhancement so much as a slowing in the decline of mental acumen. Call it what you will, but it still sounds fine to the author, right?
Sure.
So that's all good, but let's talk about young people for a minute. So, they bring up Carol Dweck, who's known for her grit and resilience sort of research, and what she's found in one of her experiments was that she did on young people. She gave a group of low-achieving 7th graders a seminar on how the brain works and put the students at random into 2 groups. The experimental group was told that learning changes the brain and that students are in charge of this process. The control group received a lesson on memory, but was not instructed to think of intelligence as malleable. So at the end of 8 weeks, students who had been encouraged to view their intelligence as changeable scored significantly better. Not just significantly better, 85% better than the controls, which did only 54% better, so a little more than half, right? On a test of the material they learned in the seminar. These findings appear to have profound implications for educating younger people because they suggest that a relatively simple intervention teachers encouraging their students to think of their own cognitive capacity as a quality that they can improve can have a powerful effect. enhancing learning and motivation, right? So perhaps it's not it is not the same as increasing innate intelligence, but helping young people hit their intellectual potential is critically valuable and apparently not so difficult to do. So basically that, and then they get to exercise, of course, right? So exercise, as we all know, is super important. They do the mice study where they put them on the wheel, and they found that there were more neurons in the hippocampus and the brain region critical for memory formation than the sedentary mice. They found that you don't have to be running, and this is especially helpful for women too. They found it impacts them even more than men. You don't have to really do a bunch of running per se. You could also do resistance stuff, like in this crazy animated GIF where you see this guy's head expanding, where just a little bit of a couple times a week, a little bit of resistance training or running, has substantial benefits to your cognitive benefit, and decreasing the aging process on the brain.
So just activity in general, I guess, huh?
Yeah. But in the end, he says you can't yet exceed your innate intelligence, but that seems less important than the fact that there is much that you can do to reach your cognitive potential and to keep it.
My God.
Forget the smart drugs and supplements, is what he says, and put on your shorts and go exercise. If you're 60 and up, consider brain training and do it with all your friends.
So I can't increase my intelligence. I'm
there we go. There's hope for us, Greg. There's hope for us yet.
I'm screwed though.
There is hope for us.
Okay. Wow,
right,
that's
man.
cool. All right. Thank you.
Back to the Future. What's going back to? There's been a lot of Back to the Future in the news lately.
Yeah, come on. If you were under a rock, maybe you may not have heard, but remember in the time machine, Professor put October 21st, 2015, and he went to the future, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, Business Insider, thanks to them, they actually put some things that the 10 things that the Back to the Future got right, and a lot of them were really interesting. Remember, there was a computing device in the kitchen, Marty's son had, and that's Google Glass. They had things like voice-controlled computers. That's obviously right today. They got Biff getting kind of like a drone shot of Biff getting arrested during a protest or something like that, and they got that one right. And the super thin advanced digital cameras. Doc was kind of like looking through. That's our smartphones,
crazy.
Right?
That's crazy. That's weird when you look back. We could actually look back at this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then there was another one where Marty's son was playing in front of 6 different screens, which is kind of like our multiple screen technology we have already, right? I mean, multiple screens of information, right? So, and then they had that Skype conversation going. I didn't really realize it until I looked back at it, where Marty was talking with, somebody online, through the big screen TV, right? And to think that's a reality today. Yeah. Mobile credit card reader, that's another one. So I was kind of wondering, can we take a movie the future that's like today and actually extrapolate that and develop ideas around it? I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about that. And then, there was one of my favorites is where Marty goes into the diner, right? The 50s diner that, where everything happened, right? And the kids were playing on that, like Centipede or whatever. Well, no, I think it was Wild Gunman.
Oh,
and
right.
He saw that they were using their hands and you mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy. So basically we're talking about Connect, right? So
yeah, like a leap motion or Connect. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So, I thought that was a nice piece to have on that day, actually. And thanks to Business Insider for that, because I think that, I think that it's something that kind of reminded me to go back to this 1980s movie and kind of see if, they actually, 30 something years later, it actually came true, at least in another form. So and on our link there on our page also there was a really good Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd made an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel's show.
That's
and
right.
I have a link there, and that was pretty cool actually. It was well done. I thought well done. So anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah. let's move on. Let's talk about nobody cares how hard you work. Really?
Yeah. Let's go. Come on, Mr. Share. Yeah, so this is sort of like one of those, again, another sort of reminder about, I don't know, I'm surprised when a lot of people don't know about this, about the amount of sort of, people think working long hours somehow makes you perform better. So psychologists have long noticed what's sometimes called the labor illusion when it comes to judging other people's work. We might say we're focused only on whether they did a job quickly and well, but really we want to feel they wore themselves out for us. The behavioral economist Dan Ariely tells the story of a locksmith. This is a really interesting story, who, as he got better at his work, started getting fewer tips and more complaints about his prices. Each job took him so little time or effort that customers felt cheated, even though pretty obviously being super fast is an asset in a locksmith and not a fault. In 2011, a study by the Harvard Business School researchers found that people using a flight search website actually preferred to wait longer for search results, provided they could watch a detailed progress display to see the site working hard to canvass each airline's database. This would be no more than an intriguing quirk of customer behavior if it weren't for the fact that we apply the same twisted standards to ourselves. Call it the effort trap. It's dangerously easy to feel as though a 10-hour day spent plowing through your inbox or catching up on calls was much more worthwhile than 2 hours spent in deep concentration on hard thinking, followed by a leisurely afternoon off. Yet any writer, designer, web dev will tell you it's the focused hours that pay most, both in terms of money and fulfillment. Indeed, meaningful work doesn't always lead to exhaustion at all. A few hours of absorption in it can be actively energizing. So if you're judging your output by your tiredness, you're sure to be misled. It's doubly hard to avoid the effort trap because our culture so strongly reinforces the deceptive message. Hard work is ultimately what matters. From childhood, parents and teachers drum into us the moral virtue of effort and the importance of doing your best. Numerous approaches to productivity, even the best ones, like David Allen's GTD, want you to you forget to ask if they're the right task to begin with. And too many workplaces will subtly communicate to its employees the idea that intense effort, usually in the form of long hours, is the best route to a promotion. In fact, though, if you can do your job brilliantly and still leave at 3 p.m. each day, a really good boss shouldn't object. And by the same token, you shouldn't cite all the effort you put in when making your case for a raise. Why should a results-focused boss even care? So the argument is, in the history of this is in America and North Europe, the roots of the effort trap may well lie in the Protestant work ethic, is what they call it. It's an old Calvinist idea that being a hard worker was evidence that you'd been pre-selected for heaven. To research creativity heaven, though, you'll need a different approach, one that prioritizes doing the right things, not just a lot of things. The well-known advice to do the most important task first in the day is probably still the best. That way, even if you do lapse into busy work, you won't be wasting your best energies on it. And if your work situation permits it, experiment with radically limiting your work hours. The added constraint tends to push the most vital work to the center stage. You could see electronic reminders throughout the day as a prompt to ask if you need to change your focus. But above all, remember that tiring yourself out or scheduling every minute of your day with work isn't a reliable indicator of a day well spent. Or to put it more cheerfully, the path to creative fulfillment might take a lot less effort than you think. So just a nice little reminder in terms of effort. And it seems to sort of support all that, a lot of what the Agile movement and Scrum people have been saying for years and years now, that less is kind of more, and never peg at 100%, because then you should be somewhere around, well, depending on how you feel, like 70, maybe 80%, because then you have that extra top to deal with interruptions from other people, situations changes, shit happens, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I had a question for you. I mean, I think I've been in a lot of organizations that applauded, as the article said, encouraged almost, endless work.
Same here.
And I'm glad this thing like this kind of comes out, that, efficiency. I mean, I'm definitely, I push a lot of my work to the early part of the day.
Yeah, same.
And you're the same way, right? And
yeah, for sure.
Like menial paperwork I'll try to do towards the end of the day just to close out my day, but not all the time, but I think in general I try to do that, and it helps tremendously.
Yeah, totally. I mean, those old sort of cultures of old type of industries and businesses, that old mindset of like staying, make sure to stay in your cube and don't leave until the boss leaves, or get in when your boss gets in or before your boss get in. And it's just all kind of, it's business theater is what I heard. I think it was in the lean book that was written. I forget the name of the book, Lean Startup. That I love that term, because it truly is. It's just, it's theater in a way. It's all, hooey.
Well, I think what happens in a lot of cases, I think you are right, that we push a lot in a shorter compact time. We push a lot of the important things because we know we have to get it done. It isn't like an if and or but. We only have 2 hours to do this, so let's just get this done. So yeah, man. That's interesting. That's cool. Well,
all right. So Google Maps, what's going on with those guys, Greg?
Oh, well, thanks to BuzzFeed. We don't usually, I don't usually look too much at BuzzFeed. I know it's a very popular channel, but I try to go to the indie channels more. But anyone who has driven a car knows that gas is expensive. And these days, actually, maybe not as expensive as other days. But, thanks to Nicole Nguyen for BuzzFeed for this. So Google's Maps has gotten smarter, and you now could find the cheapest gas on the map that you're on. So I think this is just, FYI for everyone, but I think this is kind of like something, Adolfo, that is bound to hit maps and other things like this, is context, right?
Yeah.
If you're driving, of course you want to find out where, like Waze blockages are, or where the nearest restaurant is, or cheapest gas, right?
Totally.
So, so I thought this was kind of neat, because as I go through my route, I'm a creature of habit. I go through my route driving to certain places the same way every time, right? And so I do pay attention to those signs, but they change at a moment's notice, right? They change overnight, right? So, this is just something of help, and maybe it'll help me go off my path a little bit more so I can actually find the cheapest gas. But I thought this was kind of cool. More to come. They show you in this article, just tab on it if, they're rolling out the feature currently, so they may not have it, but you could download the APK mirror, and you could get it and just set the settings on security accordingly. So anyway, cool. Really cool stuff. Take a look at it, man. I think it's good stuff.
Very nice, man. I like it.
All right.
On Google Maps.
Yeah, absolutely. So home haptic feedback system could help stroke victims rebuild motor skills. That's cool. We have a lot of good stuff like that. You're on the motor skill rebuilding.
Ben Coxworth from Gizmag for this one. Yeah, it's like we say every week, I like seeing tech that benefits us in these type of ways too, for those that are truly in need. Stroke victims here, right? So although they do receive some rehabilitative therapy at the hospital, or perhaps at actually a therapy center, when they're home, they're kind of on their own. So why not have the computer sort of help you out? And so that's sort of what's happening here. The cognitive haptic-based rehabilitation system for patient-centric home project is developing a low-cost system that consists of 3 parts: a haptic feedback hardware platform located in the patient's home, a brain-machine interface that lets the system adapt therapy to the patient's level of effort, and a remote access interface that allows an off-site therapist to monitor their progress and adjust therapy as needed. This is an awesome trend that we're all seeing. Using the hardware platform and instructional animation on their computer screen, patients would go about performing a variety of exercises designed to restore their fine motor skills. These would be based on observations of the motion of healthy test subjects, and would include activities that require the synchronization of the hand and fingers to perform delicate movements. The device would vibrate or decrease in resistance in order to guide users. It is hoped that once developed, the system could also be used for other types of occupational and physical therapy, or to help children with something called dysgraphia learn how to write. So I love this trend that we see happening, all kinds of like remote sort of therapy, remote medical assistance, and that type of thing. Even remote like psychologists and stuff like that to help people, or coaching even. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean that's what Skype's for. But
yeah, and then coupled with hardware like this for people who truly have motor skill issues, that's awesome.
No, I think if they get some of these interfaces done with your smartphone and integrated with your laptop or desktop device, there could be some really cool things that are happening with that, man. Really cool things, especially in the Internet of Things generation coming up, right?
That's right. That's right.
Pretty cool things coming up, man. So that's cool. Thank you. Are we going to speed? No, we're not. Yeah, no, not yet.
Not yet. Backwards. All right, Popcorn. What's going on,
Popcorn. Brother? Well, I don't know if you guys have heard of Popcorn Time. I think most of you had, because they've had millions of downloads. Well, yeah, it's the privacy service that Verge says everyone is watching, and it's very true. I mean, you look at if you guys go back to the old torrent stuff and stuff like that, let's put it this way: the user interface wasn't exactly easy, and the instructions to get that movie wasn't easy. But to get something illegally free will do almost anything, I think. So anyway, I thought it was really cool that Verge put together this Popcorn timeline, because I think that. I didn't realize it morphed into different versions, because you can actually, it was almost open source like, right? So it went into 2 different copies, one in Europe and one here. And I don't know, it's the movie industry is trying to shut this thing down ASAP, and it always comes back. It's like a freaking boomerang, it seems like, when I was looking through this.
Total Hydra.
Yeah, totally Hydra, man. So, well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not promoting that you use this website, but it would be good to just look through this and get a feel for what Popcorn Time brings you and gone through.
Yes.
I think Adolfo and I always do everything legally, so
100%.
110%. Yeah. But I thought I've heard so much about Popcorn Time, and I just appreciate the guys at Verge to put this together. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Now it's speed round.
Speed round. Oh, so fast, this speed round. All right, so yeah, here we go. Google wants to help you choose your Halloween costume this year. So thanks to the Next Web for this one. What's awesome about it is. In the thought of setting out for Halloween, and thanks Ben Woods, all dressed up in a costume only to find out that everyone on your block has the same idea, then Google Frightgeist is the site that you want to check out before you settle on your outfit. The page taps Google Trends data to show you the relative popularity of different outfits depending on your location, provided you live in the US. Let's see, I think I got a better...
Provided.
Maybe not. Yeah, so you'll see sort of, there's nice infographics here. And based on the 500 most popular searches, and so if you're in Washington D.C. here, for example, then don't go out wearing Batman outfit unless you want to let out a blood-curdling scream of embarrassment, because everyone, as you can see up there, is going to be Batman in D.C. The most popular character costume, and this doesn't surprise me at all, in the U.S. is Harley Quinn, with Star Wars outfits following in second place.
Makes sense.
Harley Quinn is from the whole Joker thing and Suicide Squad and all that too. You guys can Google that. Weirdly, while zombies are popular horror characters, it seems most people don't want to dress up like one. It's the 461st most popular on the list, meaning it only just made it on the list at all. Check it out though. Go to Frightgeist. Let's go to Frightgeist and check it out. You guys can see it. I thought it was on the link previously, but I was on the story. Yeah, so it's a really nice. You see it sort of this infographic sort of trending, and you could do your search trends, and it's really slick kind of site. You can browse regional trends, explore the map, sort of where you are. So really cool of Google to put this together.
Nice. All right.
Speed round.
Hey, 3D printed teeth, false teeth, but that actually killed bacteria in contact. Well, thanks to Digital Trends' Drew Prindle for this one. Scientists have developed a 3D printed teeth that's made out of this bacteria killing material that they use on bones and stuff like that, and so they've adapted it to teeth, and it's a great idea. Just check it out a little bit. I think the University of Groningen of the Netherlands have helped us out there. Now we don't have to fiddle with toothpaste anymore. It's the death to the toothpaste industry,
cool.
my friends. So anyway, to make this possible, like they said, they used antimicrobial plastic developed especially for uses inside the body. And so anyway, check it out. Really cool article. It's the future to come of for your teeth.
Very nice.
A toothbrush and toothpasteless life in the future.
Wow.
Anyway,
Nice.
speed round. Let's go, student. No. Dropbox. Oh shoot!
Yeah.
This is like us. This is for us.
Yeah. So this is a great little sort of thing here. JustCast is what it's called. So you can publish your podcast with Dropbox in minutes. JustCast is an easy and powerful way to start podcasting, as you can see in this video here. Everything you need here, no technology to learn. So how it works, you sign in with Dropbox and grant JustCast access. JustCast created a new folder for the podcast station in your Dropbox. You can edit your podcast, modify the folder's name, and your changes are immediately live. You can name it whatever. You'll see here, they're renaming it there. And then you just play the podcast, drag your podcast file to Dropbox, and that's it. You're done. The report that matters. So and there's awesome statistics too. You can see subscriber counts quickly, see how many people have subscribed to your podcast, identify trends with a wide selection of time ranges. You get download counts, all kinds of stuff for your most popular episodes and the average number of plays. JustCast provides a super easy and fast way to do podcasts. I recommend to check them out. I think we're going to test this out too
why not? What's the
feature
cost of this thing?
I'm sorry?
What's the cost of this? Is it a freemium model?
Yeah, it's free. Yep. Oh, let's check it out. Pricing and sign up. So so there's a 0-month tester or $5 a month pro plan.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's still pretty good when you're looking at annual versus other things.
Right. I mean, Automatic for increased storage, we have to pay pretty hefty price.
Yeah, hefty price. Yeah, out there. So you look at this. That's pretty sweet because it's just leveraging your Dropbox account.
Exactly. And
Which
so
is
basically just add
huge.
more money into Dropbox. Okay, cool.
Speed round.
Where are we going here? Where are we going? Yes. It's a wheelchair or is it a tank? Well, it's both. Ooh. So allows this ADA access. You don't have to worry about it anymore with this wheelchair. You're gonna have to you could go where other people go if you're disabled. So students from thank you sir very much from Zurich was able to develop a wheelchair and tank tread wheelchair. So anyway, it runs on normal ground on two wheels like a Segway, and then allows you to kind of like change directions and use the rubber tracks as you go up the stairs. It's pretty cool. You look at this video. Wow. Very neat. Yeah, very neat.
It
very
looks
neat.
super modern.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, and it's sleek and very functional. So good for them. Good for them. This is the Nerd Stalker podcast of helping people this week. I love it.
Very slick.
Right? We're helping people. So
nice.
With new technology. All right. Speed round. Floobits?
Let's see. All right. Floobits. So here we go. So you're seeing some animated GIFs here, hopefully. So what Floobits does is it leverages my favorite IDE, my development environment called Atom, which we did we used it previewed previously on one of our Nerd Stalker tips. And what this is an add-on to Atom. It adds support for real-time collaborative editing to text editors and IDEs. In addition to Atom, Floobits supports Sublime Text, Emacs, Vim, and IntelliJ. Wow, that's news to me. This plugin also allows collaborators to video chat with WebRTC and to share terminals via the Term3 plugin without leaving Atom. That's pretty amazing. For a demo of the plugin in action, see the video below and stuff like that. So documentation is available on the Floobits website. You could, and it's free. It's on Git. This is all free. So check it out. Extreme programming and pair programming is a big trend right now, and you can collaboratively edit and talk to each other while you're coding. So this is pretty huge. There's an example below of the share terminal sort of feature, and so awesome.
Nice. Good job. All right, speed round. All right, parents. After your kids are all sugared up, they probably have a lot of energy, so put them onto programming. So thanks to Mashable for this. There's a book available now that allows you, and it's from let's see, who is this? So teach your kids how to code, and it's called The Book of Wonderful World of Creatures and Code. It's a A to Z style book, just like a typical book would be, but and it's currently on Kickstarter. So it has a goal of 25,000. So funded if you guys are interested in this type of book. But they say it was born out of a gift searching trip that left Arnie Pascal and her wife Heather empty-handed. They were invited to a baby shower for a friend who was a developer and thought a kid's book about coding would be a perfect present. And after searching online in bookstores, they found nothing. So guess what? They created their own, just a true entrepreneurial spirit, right? So anyway, check it out. It's on Kickstarter, and we'll have the links there. And, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I like that. Hey, tags need to be attributes in place. That's so cool. Anyway, let's move forward. Tip down.
Yeah.
Mr. Pablo.
It is. Pablo. Yeah.
Pablo.
So what Pablo does, you can see here, it's basically a tool to sort of auto-magically create images for all your social media things, optimal images for all your social media things, the Facebooks, the Twitters, and all the other stuff. So as you can see here, there's all these sort of pre-built sort of backgrounds that you can use. We're changing them sort of real time here. There's a slew of them down here. And then also you can do all kinds of like a custom logo and not that. And you can add secondary text like down here, and it's kind of a CMS type of thing where I could say hello and bold it. So you see the feature. It's really neat too. So we're doing it on the wide one here, which is ideal for Facebook and Twitter. If we want to make it tall for like Pinterest, it automatically creates this. Additionally, you can, if you're not happy, happy with their pre-existing images, you can upload your own image. Here, there's all kinds of like little effects you can do. You can get rid of this contrast. You can add blurs, like that kind of thing. You can shuffle the various quotes if you want to just have a pre-canned sort of quote there. Here's a nice ideal thing for Instagram. So really neat. And then you can share your image or download your image and upload it as needed. So a neat little tool for optimizing social media images. And it's called Pablo. So check them out.
10 million more memes have been...
yeah, brilliant, right? Thank you. You've just created a monster, Greg. Called Adolfo.
They make it easy to meet.
Oh,
anyway, sorry. All right. Well, let's go on. I'm a startup person. You're a startup person, Adolfo. We're all startup people. So right. Anyway, I think Web Magazine, the great mag, has a list of 5 inexpensive ideas to promote your first product, and it's very straightforward, but I think it's very apropos to these days. They go through crowdfunding platforms a little bit, talk about one way to do that, and crowdfunding has really kind of evolved into kind of like a test marketing device for a lot of products instead of a funding device in a lot of cases. So that's something you guys could look at. Creating a teaser campaign. It's kind of like if you're on a crowdfunding platform, Pre-Fundia is a common way to kind of getting the word out there for your crowdfunding platform. And then host a giveaway. I guess we like a lot of free stuff, Hug. So they're thinking that if you can do that, that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm a total fan of that for all products, but for some it may be pretty good. Creating inexpensive ads, they said go to Fiverr, create an ad for $5. Why not? I like that. That's okay. That's pretty creative. And then get people to talk about your product. Well, that's a little bit easier said than done these days. But I think, creating the blog like we have and getting some people to talk about on some interviews is a great place to start for your product. So anyway, that's my startup tip of the week. Thank you so much.
Very nice. All right, let's go to events, right? Or what?
Oh yeah.
What do we got going
event.
on here? Martech, huh?
From our friends at the French Tech Hub. This week on Wednesday, with your nerdy discount of Martech 50, you get 50% off to Open Innovations marketing technology event. And
cool.
And I think it's a little bit different. Not too many events unless you're at like a real big marketing convention or something like that. Talk about marketing tech a lot, and there's a lot out there these days, especially with a lot of the ad stuff going out, ad rolls and stuff like that. So
interesting.
Check that out. That's happening this Wednesday on the 28th.
Nice.
Then next, my friend, the new Tech Crawl.
Slick.
Coming out this Friday on the 30th, right in time for Halloween. So we'll be with Miles. Oh my God. Yeah, the man foreverly next to Miles Weisletter's side. Anyway,
very cool.
And then that'll be happening, I believe, starting first thing in the morning, and they have really some great stops. Take a look at their map. They're all over SoMa area, San Francisco Tech. Anyway, Let's go forward. Fashion and tech. Our friend Anina.net from China, the famous top model from Europe, is now over in the West Coast here, trying to merge fashion and tech together in the middle of Silicon Valley here. So catch her event. It's supported by IBM. And it'll be at the Metreon. Metreon's a great place on the 4th floor there. So cool. the view area, where you can see actually the city. Hopefully it'll be a nice night and a nice night for fashion. And that same night, I don't know if I'll be able to go to both, but we have the VIII. That's 5 plus 3. Oh, Japan Night 8.
Japan Night, yes.
So that started with SF New Tech back with Japan Night 1, where I was on the founding team for that. Now they have their 8th one, and they got 6 startups from Tokyo narrowed down, and they'll be coming over and hitting the U.S. soil with their startup.
It really needs to be emphasized too. Japan Night is so awesome because they take the cream of the crop from Japan, the coolest stuff that they've taken from this entire country, and bring it here to demo. So I mean, this is like a really special night with some very special startups that are demoing.
Last year they had some startups from that was using Yamaha technology, electric bikes, and Fove, kind of the eye tracking eye user interface for your screen.
Right.
Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a competition. They've went through a series of gauntlets to get here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, and then your event, my friend.
Boom! Yeah, we got RubyConf November 15th through 17th in San Antonio, Texas. Check it out. So all things Ruby, and that is in lovely San Antonio at the San Antonio Marriott River Center. That's November 15th through 16th. Right. So if you are a Ruby enthusiast, check it out. It's going to be excellent. Super deep technical type of great stuff for all you Ruby crazies. You can see all kinds of great topics here. And so be there, RubyConf San Antonio, Texas, 2015.
We should do it live from San Antonio. Boom. Anyway, I like that. Okay,
all right.
Well, let's close this off.
Brother.
If you like our video podcast, like us below, please. And if you really like our channel, subscribe to us by hitting the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate that. And also, as a reminder, you can suggest some stories for us on nerdtalk.com via just emailing Adolfo at nerdtalk.com or socialgreg at nerdtalk.com or Tycho at nerdtalk.com or Mickey at nerdtalk.com. All these people.
That's right. The army.
I like that. And then, check our podcast on iTunes, audio and video, and rate us. And, Nerd Soccer TV is our YouTube channel. So go there and look at all our fantastic interviews that we've done over the last 8-9 years. Wow, long time, huh?
All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching and listening. I appreciate it.
Yes. This is Nerd Soccer podcast, where we believe in tech, startups, design, and you. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Be careful out there.
See you next week.